Okay, so this is the setup I described to you in your assignment last week. And what we have here is basically a shuttle moving back and forth, okay? And I have it connected to M2. Then I have a light wired as output 1, another light wired as output 2, and I have I1 connected to a phototransistor, and I have I2 connected to a phototransistor. So let's take a look at how we would program this in RoboPro. So the first thing we're going to do is open RoboPro and get a new program going, and we start with the start icon as usual. Now the next thing we need to do, because we are using lights in our control system, is to turn the lights on. So, and I have them set up as outputs, output 1 and output 2. So I want to put them in. And you see I have them put in as output 1 and output 2. Right, so I'm going to change that one, and I want to do them lamps, full intensity, right, like that. And then the next thing I need to do is just allow a small time delay for those lights to physically get warmed up. Alright, so all I've done is basically turn the two lights on, and then I've paused to be sure they're on. So what I'm going to have is this light's going to be on, this light's going to be on, and then I'm going to wait a second. Alright, now as we continue to go there, I want to basically move back and forth, alright? So let's say that initially I want to turn the motor on, and that motor is not connected at 1, it's connected at 2, right? And I'm going to go clockwise. So let's look and see where that puts me. Clockwise, I'm going to be headed towards what? I1. All right. So I need to put in a branch function to make a decision. So remember that I looked, and clockwise heads me towards I1. And I'm going to go ahead and change this image to be a phototransistor just to give me some kind of visual clue. All right. Now, if it's 0, what does that mean? Let's look. If it's 0, it means that this motor has moved all the way down here between these two, because right now, if the light is on and the phototransistor is wired correctly, the output's 1. Okay? So if it's 0, it's there. So the way I think about this, I really need to go ahead and swap these branches. All right, because if it's 1 still, it hasn't gotten there yet. See, it would be traveling this way, and I want it to keep going that way. So I'm going to take that and wire it there, and wire it like that. Okay, so now you can see how I wired that. Just to let you see, the other alternative there was I could have wired it like this. Now I prefer the first way because this way it clearly lets me see what I'm including. All right, so I'm going to take that back out and just put it back like I had it initially. All right, now when it's 0, that means it's there, and I want to change directions and begin to move towards I2. So now I need to bring my motor in. Motor 2. Oops, I didn't change the direction though. I need to go counterclockwise. Okay, and now I've got to, I want to keep going that way, this way counterclockwise, until I2 changes state. So I've got to bring in another digital branch. This one's not I1, it's I2. It is a phototransistor, and I do want to swap the branches. All right, if it's 1, I'm not there yet, and I need to keep going towards it. So that piece loops back around like this. If it's 0, it has broken that light, because once it gets in between here, it's going to change this 1 from the phototransistor to a 0. Okay, and so if I want this to go over and over, I would do it like this. Okay, So why didn't I loop this all the way back up to the top? There's no reason to. The lights are already on, so there's no reason to go through that 1 second delay. That could also cause your motor to run off the end of the track depending on the location. All right, so I hope this helps you understand a little bit about what that looks like. Okay, and let me see. I'm gonna zoom out just a tiny bit here. And there you can see this would be your overall program.